Next up, a title fight between Justin Basra and John Nguyen. Now, Ari, both of these fighters, very talented amateurs. Basra, a wrestler, Nguyen more of a striker. Styles make fights. What can we expect in this 5-round fight?
Well, I think for Basra, the idea for sure is to control the fight and take Nguyen down and ground and pound. And I think we're going to figure out whether Nguyen can strike and defend a takedown, and if he does, I think he wins.
So here it is, possibly 5 rounds of action between Justin Basra and John Nguyen.
My opponent's name is John Nguyen. He's 3-1 as a mixed martial artist. He's also done a few Muay Thai fights and overall a good athlete.
My opponent for this fight is Justin Basra. I know he's a high-level wrestler, but when it comes to the cage, it's a whole different story.
For this fight, I'm ready to go wherever it goes. If it's standing, I'm ready to go standing. If it's taking him down to the ground, I can take him down whenever he wants. I don't think he can take me down.
My strategy for this fight is take it wherever it goes. If he wants to take me down, I'm going to submit him. If he wants to keep it up standing, I'm definitely going to hurt him.
I'm going to win this fight. I'm an overall better athlete. He's 3-1, I'm 2-0. Records are very similar, but I haven't lost and he has. He already knows the feeling of losing. I'm not going to lose.
Justin, you proclaim yourself champion before you fought anybody like me. I'm going to make you pay for it.
This Hard Knocks fight is an amateur title fight in the 145-pound division and is brought to you by Triple Fox Medical Services. And now, let's meet the fighters.
Our 145-pound championship belt on the line here as Justin Basra comes down the tunnel to meet John Nguyen. And Jeremy, Justin Basra, a very accomplished wrestler.
He's a very accomplished wrestler indeed. He has placed in the top 5 of the national championship, senior national championship for the last 7 years. So, and he's not in a heavyweight where there might only be 5 to 10 guys in the weight. He's fighting off 36, 40 guys who are all fighting at that weight. It's a very tough, it's an Olympic weight, and Justin Basra has placed 2nd, 3rd. He's got that wrestling ability. What he's doing in the gym right now is working with one of the best strikers in the game right now, who is Louis Hewitt, and he doesn't train wrestling at all anymore. He doesn't wrestle, all he does is do striking, do his boxing, do his kickboxing. So he says, hey, if I'm gonna get to wrestling, if that's where it ends up, I got that in my bag. I don't even need to think about it, but I'm gonna outstrike my opponent in this fight.
The one thing that I've noticed about Justin Basra here early in his career, Jeremy, is his patience. He waits for the opportunity. He said he's not going to give up a good position to find a submission. He's going to wait until the submission presents itself and it's an absolute lock before he takes it. And that kind of patience can pay off.
Well, he has all of the abilities to be a top fighter. And he's getting into the MMA game late, but he's had more than 1,000 wrestling matches. So that experience just plays in, and that patience that you're talking about is where that comes from, is that wrestling, and having that patience of knowing I've got to wait for my time, I've got to wait for my opportunity to get in, and it translates so well to MMA. That's why wrestling's such a great place.
5 possible championship rounds is Justin Basra. He steps into the blue corner as we await his opponent.
And his opponent.
Coming down to the cage now, John Nguyen, who has a record of 3-1. A little more experience for John Nguyen over Justin Basra, and that may play a part here in this championship fight.
Well, John Nguyen in his last fight here at the Hard Knocks cage was against Crave. He landed a huge shot that would have knocked out pretty much anybody else. Crave, very tough, he hung in there. But John Nguyen hit him with a great counter. Patino came in, he threw the big shot, Nguyen with the excellent counter, and it basically dropped him. So the striking is very dangerous. He also knows how to counter punch, which is very important when facing off against somebody who isn't as experienced striking with you, that you can identify the hip movements, the foot movement, the shoulder movement, and see and know what punch is coming up next, what kick is coming up next, and how to counter.
Yeah, John Nguyen is it's interesting, Jeremy. We used to talk to guys about the Hard Knocks Fighting Championship and where they saw themselves in relation to, well, is this something you want to pursue? And they always talked about, yes, I do want to pursue this. Like John Nguyen said, he said that this title is a step towards a professional career, and a professional career at Hard Knocks is a step towards the UFC, as we've seen a recent graduate of the Hard Knocks Fighting Championship move to the UFC and light heavyweight champion Misha Cirkunov, and that kind of story is what's motivating John Nguyen to get into the Hard Knocks cage.
Well, and I kind of feel like I keep saying the same thing, but these fighters all have the great abilities to be able to make it to that next step. John Nguyen is very committed. He trains every single day. And there's people who train, and then there's people who are fighters. The people that are fighters want to be in there. The people who train will train and kind of, dabble a little bit. But John Nguyen, an excellent fighter. This is going to be a great fight between him and Justin Basra.
So John Nguyen and Justin Basra about to go for the title. Here for our official introductions is Jaden Ants.
In the blue corner for Pro Coat Coatings, he's 2-0 as an amateur, 27 years old, and stands 5 feet, 6 inches tall. He weighed in at 144 pounds, fighting out of Elite Training Center from Calgary. Please welcome Hard Knocks fighter, Justin Basra! And in the red corner for Canes Harley-Davidson, he's 3-1-1 as an amateur, 22 years old, and stands 5 feet, 9 inches tall. He weighed in at 144.5 pounds, fighting out of Dynamic MMA from Calgary. Please welcome Hard Knocks fighter, John the Dragon Nguyen. This title bout will be contested under amateur rules. The referee in charge of the Hard Knocks action is Mr. Adam Cheadle.
Fighter. Okay, gentlemen, this is for the Hard Knocks 145-pound amateur title. We've gone over the rules. Obey my commands at all times. Protect yourself at all times. If you want to touch gloves, do so now. Come out ready to fight.
So Justin Basra will have a slight disadvantage when it comes to height and reach here against John Nguyen, but often, Jeremy, with a wrestler, once you get in that close, the height advantages are somewhat negated.
When you look at the different body types between the two, John Nguyen very big in the upper body, whereas Justin Basra has these big wrestler legs. So it's a very interesting style matchup here between these two fighters.
So they touch gloves at center. Basra coming out of the blue corner in the corresponding blue trunks. The white trunks for John Nguyen out of the red corner.
Nice jab kick. Nice jabs by John Nguyen. Both landed flush to the head of Justin Basra, but there's that great takedown by Justin Basra. And again, that wrestling, it's deadly. If he can keep John Nguyen on the ground, Justin Basra obviously is going to be in a much better position to win the fight.
So Basra on top again. No strikes to the head of a downed opponent here under the Calgary Commission rules. And you can see when trying to get out, but now Justin Basra may be in trouble here. Triangles there. Basra picking him up and getting loose. And again, a nice defense there. Not that the triangle ever got near close to kind of deep, Jeremy, but nevertheless, it could have in just a moment.
Well, and to get the triangle, this is the best time to do it when before there is sweat. And again, another triangle attempt by John Nguyen that Justin Basra uses to pass and get into side control. So let's see how he works from here.
Again, this is where President and CEO of Hard Knocks, Ari Tobe, would like to see knees for days. But Basra gets back in, and again now looking for an armbar attempt is John Nguyen.
And under the Calgary Commission, these attempts, because they are being very, they're very good attempts, they actually score points in the eyes of the judges because it's an attempted offense. So if I were Justin Basra, he's got to stay on the side. That takes away that triangle, it takes away that armbar, and it really only offense from that position.
Trying to finish the fight certainly counts here under the Calgary Commission. Counts everywhere, but especially here with the no strikes to the head of a downed opponent, you can find yourself in trouble quite quickly. John Nguyen back to his feet now. Justin Basra, a nice knee to the midsection. Taking a look at a shot. It was interesting, Jeremy. He faked the shot and came up with a punch, trying to catch him on a sprawl.
Well, again, there's the scouting report on Justin Basra as well. Oh, that's a huge shot! Oh my goodness!
This fight is over. Justin Basra, your 145 champion. What a punch from the wrestler, knocking out John Nguyen.
Highlight reel stuff from Justin Basra. That was phenomenal. And you see the corner, Lewis Hewitt in the corner of Justin Basra is losing his mind because that's exactly what they worked on over and over in the gym. That was a phenomenal punch.
Apologizing to the referee. Jeremy went right up on the cage to yell down at us, "I told you so, I told you so." Justin Basra, what a performance here from the young man, getting a handshake from Ari Tobe, and he'll be getting the belt in his hands momentarily. You can hear the crowd appreciating what went on. John Nguyen looks shocked, Jeremy. The look on his face is abject shock. He has no idea that this fight was over.
Well, and that sometimes happens. You get those flash knockouts, and that's exactly what it was. It was from a position he didn't even expect to have happen. And that punch just came. It was a huge punch. We're going to take a replay of it here, right here. So it's a big shot, and then that big right hand set up from the jab, and wow. Justin Basra was incredible. That is highlight reel stuff right there, Ryan.
Yeah, that's as good as you're going to get as an amateur here, as Justin Basra knocked John Nguyen for a loop. Nguyen still looking at the replay, doesn't know what he's looking at here, and a very effective performance. Justin Basra, a little a selfie action there in his corner. On the other side, John Nguyen still, again, trying to figure this out. But the official decision is in. We'll head inside the cage now to Jaden Nance.
And now, the official decision, brought to you by Triple Fox Medical Services. The winner by knockout at 2 minutes and 20 seconds in the first round, and new Hard Knocks Amateur 145-pound champion in the blue corner, Justin Basra.
He called his shot at Hard Knocks 43. He's a champion at Hard Knocks 44, and he'll be center of the cage with Jeremy.
Justin, I'll get you here center of the cage. Hard Knocks 43, you called and said that you were the Hard Knocks 145-pound champion. Now you are the Hard Knocks 145-pound champion with the belt around your waist. How's it feel?
Looks good, feels good, I'm excited.
Now, you are a wrestler, and obviously the wrestling is something that you always have, but you ended that fight with a highlight reel right hand. Tell us a little bit about that and the training that allowed that to happen.
Well, as I told you guys, I'm always working on my hands, and you know, I knew he was gonna defend the takedown hard and try a few submissions off his back, and I defended him. And when he scrambled up, I could have held him down, but I told you guys, I feel comfortable with my hands, so don't blink.
So now you've got the belt. That was something on your bucket list. What's next for you?
I want a top 10 guy, top 5 guy in the country.
You heard a challenge earlier from Joe Mapanda. Is that something that you would take at 145?
If he gets his ranking up, yeah, but right now he's at 155. He hasn't beat anyone good at 145. He hasn't beat Clay Dixon. He hasn't beat anyone. You know, so he's jumping down to weight class. Same thing's gonna happen to him. But I want a top 10 guy.
Awesome. One more time for your new 145-pound champion, Justin Basra.
Justin Basra, your new Hard Knocks champion. Ari, no shortage of confidence in your new champion who moves to 3-0 and puts a strap around his waist.
Hey, Basra did a great job today. He dealt with the pressure really well, and he came out, he was moving, he's changing levels. Changing levels really is important for a wrestler who's striking at the same time. First time he got a takedown, it was off a level change. Second time, faked the shot, went for the punch, got the KO.
Now, Ari, as a former wrestler yourself, Justin, a high wrestler as well, and on the other side now some high-level striking, a very dangerous fighter.
Look, John Nguyen is a great fighter. He was putting Basra in all kinds of trouble in that fight. Now, what Basra needs to do as he gets better is he's going to take his wrestling and he's going to improve his striking so that his striking is just as good as his wrestling, and then he's going to the UFC.